name is Jesse, and today on C# Explained, we're going to learn a little bit about DLL files. Okay, so what are they? Well, DLL stands for Dynamic Linked Library. Okay, basically what it is compiled code that is not, it's separate from an executable file, you know, an exe file. As you know, an exe file usually it runs a program. You click it, open it up, and the code that's inside the file that's compiled will run on your computer. Well, DLL files are basically the same thing, except it's not a full program. It's just little excerpts of the program that are stored in the file. And doing it this way, you can modularize your code. You can put certain pieces of it into a DLL file and then reuse those pieces with different programs, and the programs will access the DLL file separately from one another. They can be shared. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to learn the steps to make a DLL file, what you have to do, and then we're going to use a DLL file in a separate program. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start up Visual Studio over here. We're going to make a new project, and normally we would click, keep it at the Windows Forms application. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to a class library. And we will call it DLL underscore, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to call it my dialog box. We'll do that because the main reason why is because this will also be the default namespace for the program. So we'll do that. Hit OK, and then it will come up with this. What we're going to do is we're going to add a Windows form to it, and this will be our form. No, we won't do a form prefix. We'll do we'll just do MessageBox. We'll just do that, because that way it will be sort of like the MessageBox class, but it will be a form. Okay, so now we have this, and what we can do is actually go into Solution Explorer and delete this default class that came up. Okay, and then pretty much it's just working straightforward like normally. We're going to take some buttons, add them over here. Actually, I'll go ahead and, while we're working here, I'll go ahead and pin that in there. So button 2 is, we're going to rename this button OK, and it will return a dialog result of OK. And then, sorry about that. Anyways, where was I? Then we're going to change this to OK. And then we're going to do the same thing with this button, except it's going to be button cancel, and it's going to return a dialog result of cancel, and then it's going to be named cancel, and enter. Okay. And then we're going to select both of those, change the anchor property to the bottom right instead of the top left. That way they'll stay with the form. Okay, another thing that we will do is we'll get a label, we'll put it in here, and we will set its anchor to all the way, all the way around, top, bottom, left, and right. It's going to be called label message. Okay, and auto size, we're going to change to false, that way we can move it around, and we're going to fill up this entire space. Okay, and then we're also going to change the text align to the middle center. Okay, that looks good. Another thing, we're going to change the accept button for the form to button OK, and we're going to change the cancel button to button cancel. Seems simple enough. And like I said, this is very basic dialogue, but you can see, everything moves around with the form because we set those anchors. Okay. Another thing that we might want to do is come down and, let's see, we'll get rid of the minimize and maximize buttons. So we'll set these to false. Okay, and we'll also do this for fixed single, or actually we'll do fixed dialogue. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, so now we're going to go into the code. So right click, view code, or you could just hit F7, doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and expand all this so it's easy to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to do string message. That blank. So we're going to have one that says string message. Then we're going to copy this, paste, and then we're going to have another one that will have string message and string caption. So now we can initialize it two different ways. Okay, so first one for the string message, we're going to, let's see, we're also going to make a private string message that's capitalized, and we'll go ahead and set it to that, and private string caption is equal to null. Okay, and then what we're going to do is here we are going to message. So that will take the value that's passed in from here and put it in our global variable over here. And we're going to copy this, paste it right there. We're going to do caption equals caption. So that's basically doing the same thing. Okay. And like I said, this is going to be a really basic a really basic message box. There's not really, too much to this. Let's see. And then another thing we're going to do is make private void set up box. Actually, we'll do setup form because it is a form. Okay, so what we're going to do here is that we're going to set the label message.text. We're going to set that to equal our capitalized message variable, and then this dot text is going to be equal to our caption variable. Okay, so that looks like it's doing pretty well so far. It looks like everything's going to work. We can't test it though, because you get that and this box is going to come up and it's going to say, a project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. Okay, but that's fine. We're just going to build it, and then what we can do is actually start up another instance of Visual Studio, create another new project, and this one we're going to do a forms application, and we're going to call it DLL Forms, but we're just going to put underscore there because you're not supposed to use spaces. It's bad syntax. Or not really syntax, just it's I can't remember what you call it, but it's not a good idea to start using that. It's not good common practice, I guess. So we'll just take a button, bring it over here. Oh, yes, and another thing. Solution Explorer, rename, form main. Yes. Okay. BTN dialog. Open dialog. Okay, so this is just going to be a really basic form, and this is just to show, how to do this. One thing that we are going to do is we are going to go to references and go to add reference, and we're going to hit browse, and we're going to go to bin debug. Sorry about that. I had to leave the computer for a second. But this actually isn't the right place. You'll have to go to your other project directory, the one your My Dialog. You'll have to go there, and it's right here on mine. So you go there, and then you see this DLL. That's the one that you're going to want to reference. Okay, because that's the one whenever we built it over here, whenever we went to build and hit build solution, that's what it built. Okay, so we'll go back to this one and we'll click that, hit OK. So now in your references pool over here, you'll see My Dialog right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to double click this, and we're going to do let's see. Let me go back to the other one. Hold on. Let me go back to this one right fast. Let's see. I don't know if there's any way to make it static. Let me try this. Let me do public static. I don't know if that'll work or not. Nope. Let me try this. Nope, this isn't going to work. So, but that's fine. We're just going to have to use it differently than the normal. But anyways, we're going to come and do make a new using statement up here. You don't have to. It's just I want to. We're going to do my dialog. And if you hadn't referenced that over here, then that would not come up, and this would be an error. It would say that there was unrecognized namespace or something like that. Okay, but what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to look and see what this is called. It's called MessageBox. So we're going to do MessageBox, and of course it's ambiguous. Okay, forgot about that. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is come over here and we'll put my message box, and then come here and rename everything, and then we'll hit build again, and then go back to this one, and we'll put my message box, MSG box equals new my message box. And you'll see we have two different versions we can use. We have one that just says message and one that says message and caption. And if we go back to this one, you'll see that we have two constructors right here. The first one takes just message, the one parameter, and then the second one takes two parameters. And this one that's overloaded. And so what we'll do is we'll do, since the first one, just to get it to clear out the errors, we'll just do that, and that works. And we'll just put this is my message box, exclamation point, because it's got to be exclamated. And then for the caption, we'll put my message box, smiley face. We'll do that, and then we'll come down here and we'll do MSG box dot show dialog. Okay, actually, no, we won't. We'll do if MSGBox.showDialog is equal to dialog result dot OK. We'll come down here, do that, and then we'll do else, and then we'll do let's do we'll just show a normal message box. Message box dot show, and we'll put something, you know, you clicked OK, and that'll be that. So else we'll do this dot close, and there you go. So now whenever we compile this and run it, we click open dialog. I can't believe that. Actually, yes, I can. We never called setup form. We have to come down here and do setup form, and then do the same thing in the other constructor. There. Now it should work. So we go build and go back to this one, debug, do that. There we go. This is my message box. And then, you know, there's the smiley face. So hit OK, and then it pops up and says you clicked OK. Let's see. That's another thing we can do too. We'll come over here and click on this, and the start position we can put we'll do center parent, build it, and then we'll go to this one, and for this one start position we'll do center screen, debug, and notice it starts up center screen, open dialog. This dialog box will pop up in the center of this form because this form is its parent. It called it. We hit OK, you clicked OK. We move it over here and it pops up over here. You clicked OK. This one doesn't, but the other one does. Dialog, and if we hit cancel, there you go. So that's pretty much how they work. You know, this is just a very simple explanation of it. Of course, you can do a lot more with it. I'm just explaining the very simple stuff. You know, trying to keep it relatively simple, so it's easier to understand. Like if we really wanted to, we could set it up so the form will auto size around the label. You know, so that way if you get something, you know, that's really small, it won't be like this big. It'll, you know, like if it was just the label, that it would probably be something like that. Or if there was a lot of text in here, it would expand. But you know, this is about DLL files, not about making a dialog box. So yeah, I hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.